What's up, guys? Evan Jarvis here. In today's video, you are going to learn how to choose the right bet size for a specific outcome, why you need to fall in love with the check raise and why most people fear the check raise, and why playing poker to make friends is preventing you from playing poker to make money. This is part 3 of a 3-part series, so if you haven't yet watched parts 1 or part 2, I invite you to do so. I've put a link in the video description so you can watch those and get all caught up, and that way you can get the most out of this lesson. If you're already up to speed and you're ready for some action, then you know what to do, and let's get stacking.
Now, one more, two more, get your thinking hats on. Our young hero raises on the button. Big blind calls. The big blind checks. It's on our hero. What do you guys want to do? We got a lot of people saying check. Some people saying bet. One person asked, is 29 young? It better be, because I'm 30. I'm just letting you know the data says that. Okay, guys. So you got your questions locked in. Let's see how you did. Check is not the correct answer here. Very popular answer, doesn't really stand up to scrutiny. I've never taught a guy this next thing and had him go back to the pot controlling intensive game. Guys, if you check here, what cards are bad for you on the turn? A 9, a 10, a jack, a king, a club. How often does he bet the turn? What percentage of the time? Do you know that? 20, 40, 60? What percentage of the time does the average guy bet the turn there? If you said check, you were investing money on that number. Now tell me what that number is. How about river? How often does he bet that? You don't have many chips left. Do you want to stake your tournament on the strength of the answers you just gave me? The truth is, guys, those numbers are all over the map when you look at databases. Some people bet all the time on the turn in river, some people bet never, and there seems to be no rhyme or reason to any of it. It's really difficult to anticipate. If you had the ace of clubs in your hand, I'd entertain checking a lot more. If you were playing with this guy a lot, I'd recommend balancing with some checks, but most of the time in a tournament, you are not going to see the guy for more than 40 hands. Use the massively exploitable play in that case. It's fine if you're only going to see the guy 40 hands too, because the average tournament player is horrendous at a couple of things. For one, look at the circle on the right. That's the average percentage of the time a player will raise on the flop. It's 10%. If you were playing in a high stakes cash game, it would be 2 or 3 times that. If you ever play a bot and no limit hold'em, one of the first things you'll notice is the bot starts check raising fairly quickly, whereas humans will never try to play. Guys, there is only one person here who has taught thousands upon thousands of players, and I will tell you the most difficult thing to teach a guy. It does not matter where he is from in the world. It doesn't matter how old he is. It doesn't matter his ethnicity. Nobody wants to check raise. I can't get people to do it. It is very rare to find someone who naturally does that. And I think this has to do with incentives. Most poker players play the game for entertainment, to feel good, to have a little competition. If you raise as a bluff and you're right, no one sees it. You win a small pot. If you raise as a bluff and are wrong, you lose a big pot and everyone looks at you like you're an idiot. When you see a guy bluffing at the table, does anyone look at that guy like, oh, what an intelligent dude? No, there's always the chortles, the side conversations, the laughs, the look at each other. By the way, that's a great way to encourage a guy to gamble more. Understandably, many guys don't like doing this. Even the weakest big blind flatting ranges will have, like, I gutted this big blind flatting range, guys, and it still has a top pair or better 16% of the time. What exactly are they bluffing with then? If two pairs and sets become even more likely, and that's generally what you're going to see when people check raise. That and great top pairs, like just ace queen when you have 25x and stuff like that. If you do bet if you do bet here, however, and get a call, things are looking very good for you. Because remember, they call flops with most pairs, and you're beating most of them. Then statistically speaking, most guys have a hard time raising you as a bluff on any street, or they're not very good at folding your value bets. So you can just go ahead and get as much money as you want from the guy. The 5 ways you destroy your tournament results. Guys, I want to go back to this really quick. Statistically speaking, most people, you'll notice there's not much variability here. Statistically speaking, nobody is raising you on the flop without a set or 2 pair. Nobody really is doing it on the turn or river. Everybody's folding their high cards, they're raising their 2 pair or better, and once they call you with their pairs, because that's about all they can have after they fold their high cards and raise their 2 pair or better, they're not folding. This is very easy, okay? You look down at your hand and you say, is this better than a random pair on this board? If the answer is yes, you go for value. If the answer is no, you can buy the showdown if you're in position by betting very small on the flop and turn. You can check and call once if you're out of position and then fold to a turn bet. It's up to you, but you don't go off, right? Because remember, we have no evidence that the guy is betting flop, turn, and river that much, okay? This is poker. Is massively overcomplicated by a lot of people. You don't need to make it that complicated if you're playing with average competition. Once you move up, you're going to have to understand the more highfalutin plays. But for the most part, when you're playing against people who are just playing for fun, even if they play for fun 5 times a week, even if they make a little money from poker, statistically speaking, this is how they play. All right, guys, one last one, then we'll finish up. Again, reviewing the 5 ways you destroy your tournament results so far. Calling down with weak top pairs and second pairs for no reason, betting the turn and river as a bluff, moving all in to combat an unlikely 3-bet bluff, and pot controlling when a value bet is more profitable. One last one, guys, and this one's one of my favorites. Our hero here raises 2-3x and gets called by the big blind. On the flop, he c-bets, this gentleman checks, he c-bets, and this person calls. On the turn, he develops a double gutter, and he semi-bluffs. He decides, okay, I think this guy is folding his 2s, his 3s, his ace-4, his 5s, his 6s, right? Maybe he's, statistically speaking, it's not going to happen that often, but he's got a ton of equity. So, okay. On the river, he hits the nut straight, and it's checked to him. What is your move here, guys? James says A. Peter says B. Lyle says C. Will says ship it. All over the map. Gonna give you a few more seconds. I really want you to think here, guys. Greg says bet 75% or more. Edmund says ship the Titanic. 4 seconds. Guys, if you said bet 33% pot or 50% pot, that's fine. People tend to call way too much versus half pot or less. I think that just registers as a normal bet, and people really get addicted to, okay, if I call and I'm right, I get to turn over my hand and look cool, and if I'm wrong, I just get to muck. But if you bet 66% are moving all in, that is incorrect, in my opinion, and I'll tell you why. Guys, when he calls you twice on that board, what does he have? You didn't think of that, did you? He has a jack or a 10, most likely. Is that a good river card for a jack or a 10? Then why would you shove? Because, quote, you set up the jam on the river? Guys, are you trying to be balanced for your poker buddies in the hand history discussion group, or are you trying to make money? If you want to know the biggest pet peeve I have with poker players, it's this. If you watch those Vietnamese immigrants play cards in LA, they'll never shove here without thinking and then pat themselves on the back when the guy folds. They'll think for minutes about, what is this guy exactly going to call? Well, I know he has a jack or a 10. What's going to spook him? If the guy folds, if the guy makes a bet and the other guy folds, you'll watch those guys go into fits. They're hungrier than everybody else for the money. The river is the knockout punch. Everybody plays horrible on the river because if you get any bet on the river, it is so much money, analytics speaking. And if you ever could have gotten a river bet and you didn't get it, that is a disaster. Remember this, 20% fold to river c-bet, 3% raise river c-bet. Just a little off topic, guys, but if you ever check back top pair on the river versus a guy who's going to raise 3% of the time and call you 80% of the time, I am going to lose all respect for you. The only time they're going to fold is if you give them an exceptional reason to. If you move all in most tournaments, they make your opponent table a hand if they call. That is a huge embarrassment factor if somebody is trying to hero call you with a 10 or a jack. Let them call a small bet from you. Then if they're wrong, they can muck without anyone seeing the hand they called with. Make them your customer. Don't try to be balanced. Don't try to maximize because that's what we're always supposed to be doing. Get the money. Always get the money. Make it small enough that they can call. So if they're right, they get to table their hero call and feel smart. That's what these guys want anyway. It's not chump change here, by the way, guys. 3,000? You're getting 3,000 with your eyes closed if you bet this river. People are terrible at folding rivers because they get to see your hand. There's no more bets to worry about. Remember, we saw the average person only folds to a triple barrel 20% of the time. If you could have gotten 3,000 here, that's 15 big blinds. The average win rate is 5 big blinds per 100 hands. 10 big blinds if you're a lights out hold'em player. That means it would take 4 hours of playing live for an excellent pro to make the kind of money you just pissed away on this river if you said jam. The 5 ways you destroy your tournament results, guys. Number 1, calling down with a weak top pair and second pairs for no reason. 2, betting the turn in river as a bluff. Number 3, moving all in to combat an unlikely 3-bet bluff. And 4, pot controlling when a value bet is more profitable. And 5, not value betting rivers enough or with proper sizings. Guys, thank you for tuning in today. I really appreciate you spending your time with me tonight for this. This has been a preview for Master Tournament Poker in one class. If you enjoyed the subject matter of this presentation, if you enjoyed the way I come to my analysis in this presentation, if this sounds like the type of training you think would get your game to the next level, Master Tournament Poker in one class is the product for you. In this one, it is a complete out-the-box program to get you mastering tournaments. We discuss pre-flop raising, 3-betting, 4-betting, cold calling, blind defense, how to play each stage of a tournament, flops, turns, rivers, ICM. There's tons of reference materials. There's several videos that will guide you through it. Not a minute is wasted.
And that wraps up this part of the training series. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you learned a lot from it. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up to let me know how I'm doing. And if you learned something from this video, please let me know in the comments what your key takeaway or your biggest aha moment from watching this video was. I promise you, if you do that and then look at the other comments that are there, you're going to learn a whole lot more. This is the beauty of YouTube. This is the beauty of community. This is how we grow as a team, by sharing our insights, reading what others' insights were, and engaging in discussion to further develop those thought processes. I really hope you're enjoying this learning series. And when you're ready to watch more training lessons like this one, feel free to check out my YouTube channel, youtube.com/Gripst, or come by my website, www.gripst.com, and join Team Gripst for exclusive discounts, offers, and training opportunities. We got a whole lot of good ones coming on the way, and I hope that you are someone I will be getting to share them with. Let's get stacking. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you found it educational and entertaining. If you want to join Team Gripst, click on that subscribe button and tap that bell to be notified every time a new video goes live. For behind the scenes updates and motivational quotes from my poker journey, follow me on Instagram. And when you're ready to take one step closer to becoming poker's next champion, click on me in 3, 2, 1, and let's get stacking.